What an entertaining game in the UEFA Champions League. A 7-goal thriller. Manchester City come out on top. But how important will it be that 2-goal lead 3 times thrown away by Manchester City? They were in the ascendancy. They were the better team. They were the most creative team. But they just couldn't quite get the job done. The question is, why? What stopped them? What got in their way? What is it that led to Real Madrid having so many opportunities in that game when they were really and truly out of it for long periods of time? I want your thoughts and I want your feelings on the Football Terrace Ultimate Fan Highlights and Reaction Show. Make sure you're smashing that like and that share button. It's a slight advantage in many people's eyes to Manchester City, or is it? With only a 1-goal lead when it should have been much more going to the Santiago Bernabeu. Hit that like and share button. Let's go.
Absolutely magnificent.
Welcome back to the Football Terrace. What a game we just witnessed. And I want your thoughts. I want your feelings straight away in the comment section, in the live comment section, however you're watching this game back. I want your thoughts and feelings. What a thriller. Let me just take a little quick sip of my drink because that was just, hang on. That was entertaining like you would not believe. Manchester City starting like a bull in a china shop. They were out the blocks. I believe, I did hear the commentator say, the earliest goal scored ever in a Champions League semi-final by Kevin De Bruyne. What a player he is. Clutch. He's going on 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years at this level now. What a player he is. Gabriel Jesus, link with Arsenal. Now suddenly in the form of his Manchester City life. Puts them 2 up inside 11 minutes. It's over. It is done. It is finished. They could have gone 3. They could have gone 4. They could have even gone 5-0 up. And then Benzema gets the goal back. Where would Real Madrid be without Karim Benzema? You got to use all 3 syllables because he's as good as 3 players. Literally, Man City tonight were playing against Benzema. And yes, I distill that from man-like expressions. I don't plagiarize. Sensational goal from him. And you thought, okay. And then City came back at it. City with a better team again. Phil Foden puts them 3-1 up. That's fine. It's fine now. City are going through. No. Vinny Jr. with the turn of the century. Fernandinho left for dead. I know he's 37, 38, 39. He's an old man. Left for dead. Vinny with a great run. Puts the ball in the back of the net. 3-2. Pep Guardiola. Are you going to throw it away again? Are you going to bottle it again? No. Bernardo Silva puts them 4-2 up. And every time they conceded to within a goal, Man City turned it on again. They concentrated again. They were back. They were better. They were dominant. And Real Madrid looked like the inferior side that they are. And then in the dying moments, the handball is given, and it's a handball. The arm is right out there like this. Gives the penalty away. And Karim Benzema, who, by the way, has missed 2 penalties. 1, 2, un, deux. I don't know any other languages to say it in. But literally steps up after missing penalties. Panenka. Sorry about my language. A motherfucking Panenka to make it 4-3. What a second leg we have in store. Now, I've said it in the last 3 games. And I want to get your feelings on this. I don't think Real Madrid are at City's level. I don't think they're at Chelsea's level. I don't think they're at Paris Saint-Germain's level. But they have a handful of players, Benzema being one, Vinny Jr. the other, and of course, at times Modric in this run, where they have these small little moments of brilliance and they blast their teams away. And they have given themselves a fighting chance going back to Spain, back to Madrid, back to the Bernabeu. And I know it isn't the Bernabeu, but they've given themselves a chance. And Pep Guardiola now is under pressure To quote, he is under massive pressure. Yes, I'm looking at you. He's under pressure. 2-goal lead, 2-goal lead. You can't throw 3-2 goal leads away and go out in the semi-final. Not when you are one of the best two teams in the world. Liverpool wouldn't do that. Peak Real Madrid wouldn't do it. Peak Barca wouldn't do it. In fact, peak Man United wouldn't do it. Peak AC Milan wouldn't do it. If you want to be a juggernaut, if you want to be one of the big boys in the champion, you need a Champions League title to be one of the elite clubs of the world. You have to come through these moments, Pep. You as a manager have already done it, but you as the City manager have not yet. It's going to be a big, big second leg. No doubt about it. I want your thoughts on this, though, people. I need the like button smashed right about now. Get that like button smashed. We've got a super chat here from moderator, legend of the football terrace, Langan Sweet is here. He says, people say Real Madrid will go through. Man City can take a draw and still go through. We don't need to win. Yeah, you don't need to win. But you've seen in this game, right? Mentality. I don't quite know what this is about, right? But mentality shining through each and every single time. As soon as City took their foot off that gas, Real Madrid's brilliance within individuals was able to yield them dividends. If you go to the Santiago Bernabeu and play for a draw, you will lose. You go out. You can't. City need to be assertive, aggressive, and they need to play their game. They need to be they're the better footballing side. Pound for pound, position versus position, barring Benzema, you are better. As it stands now, I'm not talking what they've achieved, what they've won in their careers, you're better. Every time City switched off, every time the April went, they let them back in. We've got a great panel coming. Man like Neeks is backstage. Man like KJ, Mo's backstage as well. We want to hear from you for a while first, though. The viewers, your opinions are more important. Man like Winnerpool here says City will go out. Real Madrid will kill them at the Bernabeu. They lack Champions League mentality and Pep overthinking again. Bad in-game management. I thought Fernandinho coming on was they got better after that. The turn from Vinny, okay, cool. He can't really help that. I know they say that John Stones come off because of injury. I think he come off because he was getting skinned. He was getting skinned. It was like a scene from The Revenants. Revenants. That film with DiCaprio, I don't know. I've had a few vodkas. It's Champions League football night. But there we go. Super chat here from Juan. Says Edison is overrated, great on the ball, but he doesn't do the main job a keeper has. Alisson, best keeper in the world. Come on, you Blues. I'm sure KJ, who's backstage, has got something to say about that. Midfielders in goal and all that jazz. When we played Madrid, they weren't better than us. We made mistakes, but they made special opportunities. That team can kill. When you've got a player like Karim Benzema, you give him a chance, he scores. You give him an opening, he scores. The fact that City remained open so regularly in this game, why? That's the Champions League naivety. There are times in the Champions League where you get a lead and you need to shut up shop, you need to be boring, and you need to sap the game of energy, especially first leg. When they went 3-2 up, when they went 4-2 up, they should have killed the game. They didn't. That game really could have been 7-0 City, could have ended up 4-4 or 5-4 to Real Madrid. It was, by the way, I ain't complaining, sensational football match. Buzzing my tits off. I don't have man boobs. If I did, they'd be buzzing off. Do you know what I'm saying? Terry, even my wife loved this game. Well, your wife's got great taste. That must be why she married you. Look at the compliments to my members and super chatters tonight. Get them in, people. If you want to be complimented, become a member. That man needs to keep praying. Okay, that's what it says. I saw the H at the end and thought it was a different word. And then I realized what it says. Madrid-Liverpool final is what Mohamed thinks it's going to be. Well, we will see. Joshua here says, for the amount of chances City created, this is a missed opportunity because Real will have Casemiro back for the second leg. They will not be this bad defensively. It's a Militao tonight, Alaba. They honestly look like Phil Jones and Maguire tonight. They were that bad. They were that bad at times. And I'm one of these people. I heard the commentators. I was listening to Peter Jury and Beglin, and they were like, what a game. It's great. They're both open. I can't lie to you. It annoys me when teams are this open against Man City. I just think, are you stupid, bruv? Are you stupid? Why would you do it? Weird to me. Weird to me. And that's by the way, City fans that don't think I praise your club, that's me praising you. We had no Cancelo, no Walker, no Stones, got injured again, but we will win in Spain next week. 2-0 is what Blue Moon Rising thinks is going to happen in this game. If Kyle Walker was playing, Vinicius, no goal. True. But with Kyle Walker playing, more defensive mistakes. I'm waiting to see Neeks' reaction if he's saying that, because I always got him. Neeks is like, no, he ain't that bad. I do. I think he's a calamity. And I don't really have that much respect. Ever since the pedigree chum situation, I don't quite have the same level of respect for Kyle Walker. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. Centurions 100 points says, we were without Walker. You were without Walker and Cancelo. I get that. But you had the lead, bruv. I have to say, you had the lead. And I don't let any team off the hook when it comes to injuries. This isn't about bias towards your club. Smash that like and share button, people. What are we on likewise now? We near 500 yet? It's loading. It hasn't told me how many. No, we're only on 270. Let's get this up now. Let's get this up past that 500 mark, my people. Let's get cracking right about now. Panel coming soon. We got Vator on as well. Canadian Man City fan joining the show tonight. Recommended by Patrick. You better come with some energy. I am talking to you, bro. I know you can hear me backstage. Come with some energy, my guy. He's smiling. He's from Canada, the second best country in the world, is what I've got to say about that. I think he might not be Canadian, though. I don't know. I was told he was from Canada, but there we go. Jesus Christ, Mbappe, and potentially Tchouaméni in that team next year. Real Madrid also need a manager. Now, I'm respectful of Carlo Ancelotti, but he's a has-been at the elite end. I mean, if he wins the Champions League this year, I'm going to look stupid. But he's a has-been at the elite level. They need a top-class manager. Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Mbappe being added to that. Who else? Who knows who else is going to go there? It could be a very potent year for that Real Madrid team. There's no doubt. Benzema finishing oil clubs one by one. First PSG, Chelsea, and now us. Can you imagine if Benzema knocks out every single oil merchant club? That would be amazing. We've got to think of a new name. Who wants to end like oil digging and stuff? We'll start calling him Jeremy fucking Corbyn. That's what we'll call him. We'll call him Jeremy fucking Corbyn. Or Jeremy Biden. They don't like natural gases and oils and stuff, do they? We got 3 points. What are you talking about, Thanos? It's a knockout game. The oil slayer. I like that. The oil slayer is good. Now, the oil digger done quite... He's got the oil slayer I like. Oil club killer. I like that. No offense. City have a mentality problem and the Bernabeu ain't the place to go if you're not backing yourselves. Real Madrid in the final is what Dexter believes. Well, we will see. Look, I'm bringing the panel out now, my people. We've got some great people. KJ's here. My brother Neeks is back. Mo is here. I think it's pronounced Vator Games is here. I don't know. I'm terrible when it comes to reading new names. The dyslexia creeps in. But we're bringing them out now. Stay with the Football Terrace. No better place to be. Smash that like and that share button. Make sure you're subscribing. Let's do this. Welcome to the show, my people. What a game. What a game. What a game.
Beautiful. Beautiful. It was like a game of flipping FIFA, and I loved it, fam. Absolutely loved it. Vator, obviously for you, you're probably having a heart attack every like 15 minutes, but for the neutral, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, this is the kind of football, and I know was in a group chat with me, Neeks, and some other people, and they was talking about the away goal ruling. Was it a good change or not? Well, it shows that this is what you're going to be getting more and more in the Champions League if this rule stays. These end-to-end games, watching it back and forth, teams just trying to score as many goals as possible to help their case. I'm here for it. Personally, I'm here for it. I know Neeks has got a different opinion to that, but I'm here for it, and what a game it is. But I will just say this. Manchester City have one man to blame for this result, and one man only. Riyad Mahrez. That brother, he was so wasteful. And you know what? It's downright disgraceful what my brother did today. 2 times he should have squared it. and he ends up wasting the first chance and hitting the side net and then hitting the post on the second one. In those situations, if you do not decide to pass to your teammate who is clearly open for a tap-in, you must score. And in the Champions League semi-final, you cannot be missing those opportunities to create an even further lead. And he was 2-0 at the time. When Riyad Mahrez missed the first chance, that's when Real Madrid struck and got their first goal. If he makes it 3-0, completely different game. And Pep was vexed, and rightly so. And I'm saying, man should have hooked him off just for that. You can't be doing that in this. You can't be doing that.
It is not the manager's job to put the ball at the back of the net, right? Like the first 20-25 minutes, Pep got it right, 100% right. They created chances, they closed Madrid, they did everything correct. So he's not going to go into the field and tap that in or pass that ball or square that in. As KJ said, he did it right. And his players did not, to be honest, the forwards did not actually deliver. The game should have been 4-0 and then it would have been gone. Everybody would have said maybe Madrid would have come back because we know that these guys, they have the mentality, they have the players to come back. But at 4-0, and this was the fair result in the first 25 minutes, but the players did not deliver. And then I think it was panic station second half. And even at 4-2, as Terry said, they still opened up the field. They let Real Madrid play. Laporta not covering Vinny when he's running all the way from midfield and he's asking everybody else to come and close him down until the guy reached all the way inside the 6 yard to pass the ball. Past Edison. What is this? This is panic station. This is after Madrid scored and brought it back to 2-1. Everybody's like, this was not in the script. The script was us reaching the goal 4 or 5 times, scoring 3-4, and then the game was over. But it didn't happen. And I think they panicked. Mentality second half, I put it on Pep's second half. But in the first half, definitely, this was on the players. If they score these clear-cut, easy chances and easy passes, like they put the ball to foot and it's a tap in. Right? And they had another chance when they could have just scored and it was an easy goal, but they didn't. And now it's panic station second half, and this is exactly what happened. And just one thing, there's too many mistakes for a semi-final Champions League. It's great, exciting game, but too many mistakes for a Champions League semi-final, to be honest.
The mistakes, and by the way, it's Vader Games, Vator Games, however you want to say it with the accent, that's all good. I'm from Canada, by the way. The mistakes were both sided. All right. Let's not look and see that Man City was the only one making mistakes. But typical to Man City way, we were wasteful. We did waste chances. And that's why there's been such a huge movement to get a true striker. That's why we're going after the big dog, right? But in this instance, we were absolutely wasteful. That's why I've got the picks behind me, right? I got Mahrez back there because he did have chances to just kill the game. And all I wanted us to do, which isn't in Pep's nature, I call him the mad scientist, the evil genius, whatever you want. He doesn't play pragmatic. He doesn't revert to, let me kill the game off. He's always open. It's the purity of the game. So when we went up 3-1, I was like, let's kill it. Let's just kill it, kill the game, chill. But no, that's not Pep's way. And we still left goals out there. All right. Terry brought up some of the points about players being injured and not having the proper coverage. Let's be honest. Fernandinho out there and us giving up that goal, that doesn't happen with Walker. We know that. Also, additional chances and controlling what Pep does, what Manchester City does. We play defensively by holding possession. Cancelo back there does that. So I'm not as doom and gloom as I'm sure rivals will want to talk about this. Going over to Real Madrid, yes, it's going to be tough. But what I saw today, I'm not worried. I'm not.
But Vader, you say the purity of the game, but is it not naivety?
In Pep's mind, the purity of the game.
Okay, because City have gone out of the Champions League a number of years based on this. This is the way we play, starting with Monaco back in 2017. It may have been
17, yeah, with Mbappe.
Yeah. And it's just like, this is the way we play. And you ended up winning the first leg, I think it was 5-3 at Etihad, and then lost 3-1 away. You've played Spurs where you're doing this end-to-end. Anytime you get into a position to lead at home, and then boom, they go on the other end, Son scores, this person scored that, when the opposition is not really in the game. And now you come to this game against Real Madrid, and you should have won this game by at least 3 goals. Whatever the scoreline, at least 3 goals clear.
Yeah.
And you in the end, you've nicked to win in terms of just the scoreline. You've got 1 goal that you've taken over. Now, of course, missed chances. You can't put that down on Pep. But this has been an issue for City all season. So it's not like he's come to this game and, oh my God, I can't believe we missed all these chances. He knows that you are wasteful. So if you get 2-0 up, I'm not saying change your formation, but there has to be some kind of difference in mindset to say, yeah, we know that they've got a world-class striker and 1 chance they're going to score. I said this on the Top 6 show yesterday. We're not going to be as clinical. We need to make sure that we keep this scoreline as a minimum 2-goal advantage. And you didn't do that. You continue this end-to-end, knowing that if they get 1 chance, they're going to take it. They got 1 chance, they took it. They got 2 chances, they took it. And they got a third chance. I don't know if they had more than 3 shots on target. I can't remember Edison actually making any saves.
Making a save.
You know why? Neeks? Because that brother's a midfielder in nets, bro. You don't belong there. You don't go in midfield.
It's
true.
It's true. There's a super chat here from a Madrid fan. Thank you very much. Who says Madrid will happily take this. They could have been 5-0 down in the first half. And that's very true, Liez, isn't it? Like, this game could have been over for Real Madrid so early on. And like, we've watched the last 2 games in the studio together with Real Madrid, and how they're still in this is mad, really.
This is football heritage. This is the history of Real Madrid, guys. I don't know how they do. This isn't the first year they do it. Every single year, even when we were winning Champions Leagues, these games against Bayern or against Juventus or against Atletico, where they don't look like they're in the game whatsoever. But Terry talked about this so many times. The Champions League is the league of stars. It's the league of moments. And when you have players like Benzema and Vinicius, you give them 3 chances. I saw someone on Twitter asking you, if Real Madrid are in this great team, how did they beat PSG and how did they beat Chelsea? Benzema must have had 9 chances over 4 games and scored 7 goals. The guy is just a freak. That's not even an exaggeration. I'm almost positive.
Yeah,
it's like his official. And game against City. City and should be kicking themselves that it's only 4-3, because truthfully they were. Sorry.
You froze for a second.
Maybe it lagged out. My fault. Yeah. So for me, City should be kicking themselves because they played an unbelievable game, in my opinion. Mahrez, everyone knows how much I love the guy. So bad in front of goal today. And when you give a team like Real Madrid 3 chances, which, as far as I know, I think that's the only 3 chances they had all game. One of them isn't really even a chance. It's just Laporte putting his hand up. Penalty. You are going to get punished. And now, honestly, I told Terry I predicted Manchester City to go to the final. But going to the Bernabeu, a goal up, that's playing with death, man, honestly. I keep saying it, football heritage. Real Madrid can do anything on any given night. And this is definitely an opportunity scoring from Manchester City. I still think they'll make it to the final. But listen, you give these players 1 chance, goal, every single time.
Yeah, we've seen it. We saw it with Chelsea.
Spot on when it comes to football heritage. I think, this Real Madrid team is not a vintage Real Madrid side. And to be honest, it hasn't been a vintage Real Madrid side, probably even including 2018 when they won the Champions League. They won the Champions League, but they came back a lot in that season. I think they came back against
the penalty at the end, the Ronaldo penalty at the end against
Juventus. It wasn't a vintage Real Madrid kind of campaign since then. And obviously Ronaldo left and they've had to rejig a few times, new managers, etc. But it comes down to heritage, because we say the same thing about Liverpool. Liverpool have got to Champions League finals, won Champions Leagues, when they haven't even been the best team in their country, let alone the best team in Europe. 2005, 2007, 2018, they came 4th in the Premier League that year, got to a Champions League final. 2019, they were great in the Premier League, but came 2nd and won the Champions League. Even if as a player you haven't, when your club has that heritage of being dominant or being successful in European competitions or whatever the competition may be, there's just something within the players, something within the fans, the managers. They know what it's about. They know what they have to do. Mm-hmm. And when you're coming up against a team like Man City, who have struggled relative to the expectations in the same competition, you see the difference. When it comes to a head-to-head match. And that's really what got Real Madrid, I'm not saying over the line, but kept them in this tie. The difference is purely mentality, because it's not the quality.
Of course, you're absolutely right. And there's almost this belief in terms of Man United have lost theirs. And I always use us as an example under Fergie. We had some great teams and we had some decent teams under Fergie. But it didn't matter who we were playing, how good they were. I always felt we were in every single football match at every single moment. Real Madrid, Liverpool, I've seen that in my lifetime watching them in the Champions League. They don't win every round. They do get knocked out. They don't win it every year. But they're always there or thereabouts. And there's a great super chat here that says that Madrid are a FIFA team where you dominate them, create loads of chances, yet they only need one chance and score. Done that against PSG, Chelsea, now City. And a lot of people think FIFA's unrealistic in some respects. But these things happen and they're having those moments of brilliant. And I'm getting called out on Twitter for someone saying I'm a disgrace because I've questioned how City have allowed this to happen. I stand by it. Like for me,
100%.
City were by listen. You look at go back to the Chelsea and PSG games. It was identical for large parts of games. They were the better sides. As soon as the only difference in the Chelsea game, they started how City were when they got a 2-goal lead. They were just loose and open, and it's almost like why if you give Modric, Vinny Jr. and Benzema time and space, they're going to punish you because they're world class. This is where Pep annoys me. As an example, it's where Poch annoyed me the other night, and with Pep, he's one of the greatest managers of all time, but there's still a chinks to his armor. It's almost shut up shop, make it hard, make it boring, make the game less entertaining, win that game, go to the Bernabeu in a position where you can take it easy. Because listen, tomorrow night, Liverpool are putting 3 or 4 past Villarreal. I just know they're going to do that, which means they've got an advantage in the league. It means they can rest for the next leg, and it's going to make it harder on them. But it's going to be a crazy one. We're going to add some more people to the panel. Daniel and Ram are backstage as well to come on and have their say. A question, though, for the panel first. Valverde better than Foden?
Hell no! Stop!
Wait. Who said this?
I'll answer that myself.
Give the money back.
Whoa! No, Foden.
Oh, no.
Don't play with his money, bro.
Foden.
Foden cannot.
Vinny Jr.
Valverde cannot touch the grass Foden plays on. That's ridiculous.
Foden is as good as Vinicius Jr. They're the same
Vinny
level.
Jr. is a better comparison. That's a relevant discussion.
Exactly. I think
Valverde for
Foden
60
today was
minutes today
absolutely
wasn't even
really
playing.
good. Foden today was really, really good today. You can't convince me otherwise. He was everywhere. Passing was crisp. He scored a goal, and he was everywhere. I think Foden on that left side, he dominated that left side, and you can't convince me otherwise. Vinicius Jr. yes had this move, and he was great as well. But these are the comparison, as Nick said, but not like don't compare it to Valverde. This guy is a Trent, and I'm talking Foden, Vinny. I think at Foden. And maybe they're one step below Mbappe because Mbappe.
I was going to say,
don't
say that last name.
I don't know how
but
you watched that game.
Mbappe won the World Cup when he was 19. That's a different level. When you're like dominating.
Listen, what I'm saying
in fairness,
Foden was filthy.
Foden
Absolutely filthy.
I thought Foden tonight, by the way, was outstanding. And by the way, if Foden was French, he'd have a World Cup winners medal as well. By the way, I'm just saying, like, he's good enough to play for that French team. Like he is. That's not I'm not even overhyping him.
Terry, he's not even good enough to play for the England side.
Southgate tax, isn't it? Southgate tax.
Can't watch that game and give that comparison. And big game Foden showed what he's all about. He's going to do He's going to do it on the second leg as well. Yep. And listen, guys, I know it's easy to look at missed chances, but it's Real Madrid. They have the heritage. They have the history. It's little small club Manchester City. That's
come on!
That's a filthy game. That's a filthy game you're playing here.
Manchester City building its history right now, right?
Building it with billions of pounds. Poor Manchester City.
Poor
how else do you expect us to get into the game?
When your owners are crying, when your owners
I'll tell you what. Your fan, no, I'm gonna be honest here, and it's not even a dig, but your fans today, they did not help. They did not help. You're 2-0 up against the European giants, kings of Europe, and you can hear a pin drop in the stadium. Imagine that was Old Trafford.
The tickets went on general sale. It's probably strangers from Manchester just buying the tickets.
Imagine that.
I have a friend who travels from here, and he got a
English club. 1 second. Imagine that was in the English club with any kind of pedigree in football over decades and centuries. That place would have been rocking.
The place was rocking. But I'll tell you,
so quiet. And I'm being honest.
Let me explain.
Your players need that help. Real Madrid are not going to allow that when it comes to the Bernabeu.
Absolutely. But the players will the players will step up in hostile environments. But while I explain, let me explain this.
The fans have a job to do. The fans have a role to play in
Yes,
this.
they do. I agree. But listen, as the club is growing into this heritage, it's building its history, so are the fans. And the nervousness that fans are experiencing, or the uncertainty that the players may be experiencing on the field, that's on the fan base as well. A lot of the fan base don't even believe that we should be challenging at this point.
Well, you boo the anthem, so you clearly don't want to be
What?
there.
No, listen.
Hold on.
You gotta believe you're going to be challenging, bro. You've spent billions of pounds.
We know that spending doesn't equal winning, Terry.
You've got the best manager ever. Whoa. But the difference between you and Man United, you're brilliant, by the way, is you're spending big, you're winning everything domestically. You've got one of the best squads ever assembled in English football, one of the greatest managers ever. There comes a point for your fans to sit there now in this moment and go, I don't think we've got the right to be winning. That's madness, bro.
Terry,
No.
I went and watched City in the Champions League this year against PSG. I went to Manchester to watch that game. There were probably 3,000, 2,000 PSG fans, the ultras there. They outsang City the entire game. It's Mickey Mouse culture, Mickey Mouse fan base. Listen, bro, there's levels to it. I mean,
Mickey Mouse money, Disney Plus,
I'm not going to
Disney
sit here.
Plus
I'm not going to sit here and let you do that to our fans.
Yeah, speak your ish, boy.
Our fans cheer. Our fans cheer and support the team. But what you have to understand,
that's it.
What you have to understand is that this is all new territory. So when you
no, it's new territory to you, my brother.
2009. I'm sorry to say this. 2009. You've had this money, right? You've had money.
Why are we doing this?
You've had money since 2009. You didn't get it. You're not Newcastle. You didn't get it last week, bro. You didn't win the lottery last week. You've had it since 2009, bro.
Terry, but the thing is, forget about when the money came. Fans as a basis, as a standard, should be raising their level. It doesn't matter how much money you spend. If you're in a position to get there, you raise your level, you raise your voice.
Let me ask everybody in the UK, guys. Let me ask you guys in the UK one question. Do you guys have like organized chants in every stadium? I know Man United do, Liverpool do,
everyone does. Every club.
What about Man City? City. I went to the Etihad. Yes, exactly, Les. I went to the Etihad. I went to the Tottenham Stadium. I went to the Everton, and in the Etihad, it was sporadic singing. Everything guys singing by themselves.
I've heard a rumor that the Etihad, just like Chelsea, they have to give out, like, in church, to give you a hymn book, so you can learn the songs while you're sitting in the ground. I've heard that's what it's like. We're going to bring out Ram and Daniel now to have their say. We've got more super chats to come. Keep smashing that like and that share button, people. Ram and Daniel have joined us as well. How you doing, boys?
Good, man. Good. Really good game of football. And yeah, we have to do our job tomorrow. It is what it is.
I get you've got to do your job. What did you make of Man City's performance tonight?
Yeah, honestly, I'm going to echo what a lot of you guys said. I think it should have been 5-0 after 30 minutes. You guys dominated them. Absolutely dominated them. They didn't have a single ounce when it came up to you in the first 30 minutes. You overran their midfield, made them look like passengers, made the likes of Modric, Kroos, and Valverde look like passengers. And to be honest, I know it's a little bit of a cliche, but if they had a striker, it would have been 4 or 5-0. Like I said it. That Phil Foden chance where he dropped it down beautifully. If Jesus had an ounce of a number 9's instinct, he'll be running onto that ball when Foden was running onto that ball, running to the box. So for me, I think City, it'll be a case of City missed out on a very, very good opportunity, because now they're going to have to fight at the Bernabeu, which is no easy feat. Go ask Daniel. It's hard.
Ram, I have a question for you, bro, because I've kind of gone back and forth with this City. Are they missing a striker? This, that. I kind of look at Chelsea, right? And Chelsea last season, they played and won the Champions League without a recognized number 9. And then you brought in a guy like Lukaku, and the entire team, their focal point, and the way they attacked and approached games completely changed. And that's not to say Haaland is going to be like Lukaku and change all that stuff up, but we bring up the missed chances by City today. My question whenever I go back to this is, does City create as many chances and cause as much chaos and look as fluid in that front three with a guy who's kind of the focal point and you have to play around? Do they create the endless chances that they do?
This one, I think so. I think so, because for me, if you have a very, very top class striker, they'll make space for themselves, and that gives these creators the opportunity to either whip it into the box or produce a through ball into the
Who's your top class
Exactly,
striker?
Daniel. Ask the question. They don't have a striker in Liverpool, and they play good
Who's your
football
top
because
all I'm saying is, my point is that the reason why I disagree with that as well is that, like, exactly, literally, you even brought it up yourself. Chelsea literally had to learn the hard way that it isn't necessarily about having that, like, and that's why I get so frustrated with fans when we talk about formations and all. It's all about the way that your manager wants to play, and the way your manager, the style that your manager implements. What does it suit? I saw Pep even when Pep had Aguero, like, look what he was doing with Aguero. A lot of Aguero's game, like he literally molded him in the way that he wanted to be. Despite the fact that Aguero was already this great striker, he still needed to learn the Pep way. So for me, I'm not.
But he still had a killer instinct. He still had a killer instinct.
I think. Go on, Dan. No, I was going to go on. Finish it. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, two very quick points. One, literally, it depends on obviously your manager, the style that he wants to implement, and whether it works or not for the current structure that you have. And I just personally think that Pep, I think it could be a mistake getting Haaland. The same way I think if Chelsea went in for Haaland, it would be a mistake. But second point is, Leave the brother alone. Like we've heard, we know.
Big 4-4.
Yeah, big 4-4. The point is, when it comes to a guy like Benzema, look at how Real Madrid are set up. Everything runs through him. Like, it's to make a chance for him. Man City don't work that way. So you then buy a striker who needs plenty of chances and whatnot. It's not to say the grass will always be greener, innit?
I agree completely, Daniel.
No,
I agree.
Stop
I'm going to go Vitor. What are you saying, bro? Go on.
Stop this. Let's not make these comparisons between managers and managers, okay? Pep is clear, so he won't be failing with the striker.
Clear of who?
Easy.
No, clear
Everyone.
of everyone.
Okay, let's not do some foolish.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story, my friend. Let me tell you a story, my friend, of Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Look up Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Barcelona.
No.
Vitor, let me ask you this question. When you say clear, you mean like clear of even Jurgen Klopp right now?
He's clearly the better manager.
He is. I agree.
Even if it's
he is.
here,
I agree. But besides,
even if we're cutting hairs,
that's not clear though.
It's like offside.
He's clear. He's clear. The offside line, exactly.
Yeah,
that's not clear.
So
if it's this much, that's not clear.
You can see the difference. You can see the difference. This isn't clear.
This ain't offside, man. It's just
okay. But listen. What's often missed as well is that a striker will occupy the back line. It will cause the defense to think about something else. Right now, they don't worry about any through passes. They don't worry about anything coming into the middle because there's no true threat. Pep's going to
Can you say there's no true threat? Bro, you guys destroyed Real Madrid's back line today. The problem wasn't a threat. The problem is you couldn't just put the ball in the back of the net.
Yes,
the defenders were occupied. It's just the final touch that's missing.
That's my point. So you guys are saying the system won't work with a striker. I'm telling you it will.
My question is, do those same chances get created with a striker in the team?
Do you know what's interesting? Do you know what's interesting? I know that you guys are going to go for Haaland. With the form he's shown since Antonio Conte joined, I would be more confident of Harry Kane, because Harry Kane, for me, Benzema is, I would say, better when it comes to certain skills and they're about par on finishing. But when it comes to dropping deeper in creativity, he's clearer Benzema. Like the way he creates the passes and moves. No, I don't even think
we've established this.
I can agree with that.
But I do think he is, and I think that the one thing with Erling Haaland is I don't watch enough of him. but I'm not too sure how good he is at
He
his
relies,
interplay.
Terry, he
He's not. That's not his
relies,
game.
He's
Up
like
against
Lukaku.
Guys,
He's
basically-
Thank you.
He's
Ken.
not like
he relies on the
he's
number
not like
10.
like-
He has to run it.
You're
No,
spot
bro,
on.
The point I want to make is, and it's in response to what you just said. Again, fair enough, it might not work this way, and football isn't linear where if it happens at one club, it's going to happen at the other club. But my point is that we know how Man City play and how good they are, and because they have Pep, they will always be able to create chances, they will always challenge. But in terms of the intricate details, and look how perfect Man City and Liverpool are, I think the difference between you lot, again, going at it and being perfect can be you simply just thinking, because what we all thought as Chelsea fans was, we create so many chances. Once we get a striker that we think is world class, we're definitely going to be on top. And that just wasn't the case.
You know what?
It wasn't
what, that-
just 1 equals 2. Do you know what I mean?
That is true, but I feel like with City, now I'm not too sure how well Haaland will work, but I feel like with City, the Jack Grealish that they bought this summer, if they bring in the striker, you'll see the Jack Grealish, why they spent the money on it. Because the way that he operates with
KJ
strike,
back in a Brummie.
Oh,
He's a Brummie. He's a Brummie.
He's getting him on the podcast soon.
my man,
Grealish,
he needs
Grealish,
Jesus, bro. That's what
I've
he
seen
needs.
some photos. He needs Jesus. Yeah,
Yeah, but I say you need Jesus, bro. Yo, come on to the pod and that. But no, on a serious note, the thing with Lukaku and Chelsea, you brought him in when you had a sprinter already in Werner. Like, it didn't make sense. Whereas someone like Jack Grealish, who you've seen him play with an actual focal point striker, that's when he get the best out of him, because he's got that focal point in the middle to work for him. I just feel like Haaland in City, they can still play around him. I don't know how good he will be with his feet, but you see them chances in the middle, he will be cleaning. He'll be finishing those. I'm not personally a big fan of like the focal point striker. I like my forward threes. I like them fluid. But Man City, with the players that they've got, they can adapt. I believe they can adapt to Haaland.
Yeah.
Also, Haaland is very young, guys. We know that Pep can develop this guy to make him whatever he wants. This is something that he's not Benzema, he's not Harry Kane. Yes, we see these people like every day, but I think Haaland he can actually change the way he plays a little bit, and he can adapt Haaland to the way they play.
Haaland is
I
clay.
think
Haaland will be clay in Pep's hands.
Again,
like
like
Ibra.
molded.
That's like
He's
Ibra.
gonna be
I'll
molded.
say.
the thing is, again, you like this. Like I hear that, and he definitely will develop as a striker. But I think when you're 6 foot, you're that big. There's only certain amount of things that you can improve. Like, I mean, Lukaku when he was at Everton, when he was even at Everton, I didn't even think his touch
You're
was
being
terrible.
disrespectful.
He'd even play on the wing sometimes. I even think as he progressed and as he got older, his touch got worse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Maybe
you know
because
what
he
that is,
got a bit
Daniel?
bigger.
Because he got told to operate in tighter spaces. At Everton, he had all that space for that bad touch to
That's
anyway.
true.
and chase
Yeah,
that
it's
down,
why,
bro.
it's why Jesse Lingard looked so good last year at West Ham, because no one plays low block against West Ham. No one plays low block against Everton or West Brom when he was there. It's a different, and that's the one thing that I personally, I'm playing devil's advocate. I like Haaland. I think he could do a very good job. What we don't know yet is how he's going to play against low blocks. And I still have honestly, Harry Kane would be the better option because he looks fit. He looks firing again. He looks like he's rejuvenated. You're going to get look, Pep ain't going to be there past 4 or 5 years. From Pep's point of view, you sign Harry Kane. I still think they'll win the league or could win the league with Haaland, but I think with Harry Kane, it's a level. I want to speak Benzema in a minute as well. I've got some super chats to do first here. The City fans in the stadium were so bad, is what Adams has got to say. Real Madrid were Liverpool in disguise tonight. Is what
Have some respect for Real Madrid.
Hey! 13 Champions League versus 7. So
yeah, it's true. Atmosphere was dead for such a big game. I get that.
But you wouldn't say that at the start of the game. Let's be real. At the start of the game,
because that's what you guys do. The first minute, you guys wave the flag, and then it's done. We're done.
No. Until they scored. This is my point. Until they scored, it's the PS. It's the.
Yeah, but some fans are like that though, bro. So Liverpool fans, Liverpool Anfield can be like Anfield at the start of a European night is one of the best atmospheres in the world. But as soon as things start to go wrong at Anfield, it becomes as quiet as a church. You can hear a pin drop in there. Like
it gets aggy.
Okay.
Like
The worst it gets aggy.
No, I've seen many a night.
Have you been Anfield to experience this Aggie.
When was the last?
I have actually.
When was the last
I
time
have.
you went,
Ram. Name the last 5 games you went to at Anfield. Now go.
Brendan Rodgers time.
Hey, allow
Roy
that.
Hodgson.
Allow that.
Come on.
Athletic-
Nottingham Forest and
Name
preseason.
Hang
the
on,
team.
wait,
Name the team.
wait.
Name. Oh, everyone, calm down.
Athletic-
Name the 5 teams now. Go.
Atletico, Porto, PSG,
I go. Stop.
Red Star.
Stop. The season that you're just naming teams. The season,
2018-19 with the majority of them.
bruv. You didn't even have facial hair then, bruv. Come on.
Allow that. Stop it.
Right, I got more super chats here. Man United versus Real Madrid in 2013 at Old Trafford with Ronaldo's return was a madness atmosphere. City versus Real Madrid 2022 is dead. Listen, I would say this about City as well. Like, I no disrespect to City, but I've seen Arsenal, Man United recently, Man United, Liverpool, the Merseyside derby where there was needle fighting, the crowd was going mad. Anyone who plays Man City, really, it's like soccer aid with points. Do you get what I mean? There's no real atmosphere. A joke, City fans, if you can't take it, get out of the kitchen. Abramovich bought Chelsea in 2003. Less than 10 years later, they'd won a Champions League. City fans should expect more and none of this small club mentality.
Nope.
Go on, respond,
It's
my bro.
not a small club mentality. That's not what I'm pointing out.
It's just a small club.
It's a small club. We're building. Let us build.
Little.
You just said that small club. So
Claire.
you're a small
No,
club
but
or a big
you
club
love-
now?
you
No.
love that
Our
small
mentality is very strong.
So,
Our
yeah, so-
mentality is to compete.
Yeah. So
But
you're
as a
like that
club-
guy that buys a Ferrari because he's compensating.
No, we don't need to. No. Stop it. But I got 2 things I got to say because no disrespect, Daniel, meeting you for the first time. Nice to meet you. I find it very disrespectful with this Haaland Lukaku comparison. Let's stop this.
Why
stop
though?
this.
Why though? Can you explain
but
why?
if you
Because
watch-
honestly,
if
their
you watch-
records at
if
the
you
same
watch
age are
Haaland-
similar. Lukaku
Yeah,
tore up
if you-
Serie A.
if you
last
watch-
season.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to compare them at the same age, cool. Both promising strikers. But don't equate what Lukaku is now to what Haaland will be. That's where you're being disrespectful.
No, we're not saying that. But like, let's not forget, for all Lukaku's flaws, like he's a Premier League 100 club member, like, and you don't get that if you're a bum, like, do you know what I'm saying? For one, so I'm
Bro,
saying
we
the
were calling him a
equivalent
top
of
5 striker
that-
last season.
Yeah,
We,
the equivalent of that. The equivalent of that in terms of Haaland. Obviously, Haaland, in terms of the age he is at right now, he's doing greater things. But obviously, he's in a different league. You could make the argument that maybe because Lukaku was in the Premier League and was doing the stuff, it was set on par. But obviously, I'm not arguing that.
Look
I'm
at
just saying.
yes, Daniel.
Yeah.
Look at how Borussia Dortmund play on the counter and all the stuff they play and how
Yeah,
he's quick and how he
that's a
occupies
striker's
spaces
dream.
where there's a lot of
Dude,
spaces. It's
yeah.
different.
Lukaku
It's
played
exactly what
yesterday.
everybody said. It's he has to prove it on the big stage, and to be able to do it, you have to do it in the Premier League. And playing for City is one of the toughest teams to play at as a striker because you'll always have these teams, low blocks, 2 lines of 4 defending against you. There's not a lot of space to run, and his main asset, as we know, is running in
Yo,
behind
listen,
spaces.
Haaland-
It doesn't
Haaland
mean it's
and
not gonna happen.
His main asset is finishing.
Haaland
He's
and
clinical.
Lukaku have got that wind-up pace, bruv. You know them ones where you have to they take 1 step, then 2, then 3, then 4, 5, 6, 7.
You don't
literally-
it just shows you don't watch Haaland. I've been watching you guys. I came to because my boy is getting cooked. I brought him here. I've been watching you guys. There's a lot of useless points here. A lot of useless points.
That was a shot.
No,
That was a shot.
no, Terry. This man up here doesn't watch Haaland. Haaland has got speed. If you watch Haaland, you'd know he's got speed.
No.
no,
Wait. I never said he never got speed. I never said he was slow. I said he's got
Acceleration.
wind
Just
up
have to
pace.
crank
It
it.
takes a while
Nah,
for the acceleration
Lukaku
to
when he's
go,
running,
bruv.
it's as if it's a bulldozer, man. Lukaku is another next level, man. It's as if it's a bulldozer, man.
I'm faster than Usain Bolt if you throw me off a cliff. Do you know what I mean? It just takes time for it to build.
Here's
I've got
the
some more
thing with Haaland. Okay, go ahead.
No, go on, mate. Say,
I was
go
going to
on,
say the
Lee.
thing with
Go on, bro.
Haaland and why he's similar to Lukaku for me and why I worry how's he going to do at City. We talked about Kane. He likes to drop deep. He likes to kind of take those spaces in the number 10 position. Haaland and Lukaku are very similar in that they like to kind of drift out onto the flanks. And you know City love overloading the wide areas. And that's where I worry. Haaland is not this guy who just sits in the box and just is going to finish off every chance like you guys think. He's not going to be, I don't know, a poacher who just sits in front of goals. That's not he's not going to be a closer. He's going to be a guy who likes taking the outside right, especially, I don't know exactly. Like, I think City will definitely have to adapt for him, and he's going to have to adapt for them, 100%.
I agree. Let's get through these super chats. So I want to speak Benzema. Why is everyone acting like City lost a leg? Look what Chelsea did to them at the Bernabeu. I think it's true. They haven't lost a leg, and they could go and win there. It's if they go out having those 2 goal leads 3 times, could be painful. Why is it everyone say they have a striker? Liverpool do not have a recognised striker. I wanted to say this earlier, Jota, you're right. It's just so we need to stop this excuses. It's not an excuse for City because of what they've spent. None of the top 6 get an excuse for me when it comes to injuries or weak squads because we spend hundreds of millions. Our squads are worth billions. I can't have the excuses. None of us are underdogs. Not one of the top 6 are underdogs. In comparative to each other, yes, but in the grand scheme of things, no. It isn't they need a number 9. They need a killer up front. It doesn't matter if it's left, right, a false 9, a number 9, a fucking inverted number 9 winger that used to be a left-sided 11. I don't give a fuck what we call them nowadays. I just used to call them forwards. They need someone who's a killer, bro. That's what they need. Blue Moon Rising says beating Real Madrid at home in the first leg isn't for everyone. Let's all laugh at Chelsea. Dave here says Foden missed the 2 easiest chances in the game tonight. Definitely, I remember the first, the tap in. I don't remember the other. Oh, the volley.
The one across goal.
Yeah,
Mahrez was easier.
Mahrez, yeah.
Let's take the pressure off Mahrez. I agree, it's Foden for sure, bro.
man backing his brother there. What a game, Terry. Benzema is clutch. Real Madrid to go through, write them off at your peril. We'll come back to that in a second. Most of you haven't realized City have started playing counter-attack football. They are already changing their style of play.
Is that true, City fans?
Are you changing style of play?
For opportunities, but not throughout the course of the game. No.
Yeah, I think we change it according to who we're playing. I think, another thing, I keep reading a lot of people, even on Twitter. I know a lot of people hate City, and I know why, because a lot of people are salty. But the thing is, everybody keeps ignoring the fact that if that was Walker, is Vinicius going to be running as if he's running to the market like that? So next week, look, we're not through, but I'm saying if the 4 backs are back like Cancelo and Walker, let's see what's going to happen. Let's see who's going to fist on who.
I guarantee you, Kyle Walker still gets cooked.
That goal was still audible, though.
Justin here says...
Nah, it's not look show, man. It's not look show.
City is such a small club. They only have fans in Canada, is what Justin
Canada. We're everywhere. What do you mean? We're fans
big
everywhere.
Up Canada. Yeah, big up Canada. Second best country in the world. I want to go back to Daniel's thing here that says, what a game. I need to speak about it, and I did plagiarize. You all know me. I never take anyone else's sayings, but he's basically 3 strikers. Benzema, if you've never seen the David De Gea thing from Expressions, you'll get what I mean. But I want to go to Leah's first on this because I know I said it earlier on the stream, I know you've got a bit of a thing for him. I'm talking like a OnlyFans type thing. Like, it's a bit OnlyFans for him, bro. But
he's a beautiful man.
he is. That beard's getting thick, brother. I bet you'd love to run your hands through that beard. But listen, tell me, like, again tonight, coming up. For me, the goal was great, the first goal. But the Panenka, after missing 2 penalties, to like bring Real Madrid back into the game. Speak to me about your boy.
He is the Ballon d'Or winner. I was nervous, honestly, that tonight City would just blow Real Madrid away, and Salah these next few weeks is just going to start gathering up momentum. But I think this performance tonight probably means that he's going to win it because he has kept his team in the game in this tie for sure. Real Madrid did not deserve to get anything out of this game, and they didn't. But like scoring 3 goals at the Etihad and only being a goal down into next week after how they played tonight is courtesy of 2 players, and in my opinion, 2 players only, and that's Vinicius and that's Benzema. And tonight, Benzema has shown that, listen, he can have 5 touches of the ball. Forget about 5 chances. 5 touches of the ball all night, holds up the ball, gets other players involved, and he is clinical. That first goal, people will forget it. That's an unbelievable finish with his left foot. Like that is no schmuck finish. That's a serious finish right there. And the penalty, like you correctly said, 2 penalties missed in a game last week. To Panenka Ederson like that is just ballsy, man. And for me, he is the Ballon d'Or winner. He's the best striker on the planet. And I keep saying it every single Champions League game, his legacy and his spot amongst the all-time greats and his spot amongst the all-time greatest strikers just continues to rise and rise and rise. And if he is able to bring this Real Madrid team, who again, I'll say it before and I'll say it again, Ancelotti is past it. A lot of these guys like Toni Kroos, we haven't talked about tonight, is past it. If he's able to bring this Real Madrid team to a Champions League final, That's one of the greatest carry jobs of the last decade. It's as simple as that.
He's hands down the player of the tournament. I don't care anyone to say. If even if he goes out at this round, player of the tournament. This guy has carried that Real Madrid team on his flipping back. His videographer, boy, he's been working overtime, fam, because the highlights has been insane. So yeah, now big up Benzema, man. One of the best.
And I forgot to bring up another stat actually. Karim Benzema tonight equaled Ronaldo, the Brazilian Ronaldo's all-time Champions League goal scoring record in one season. 14 Champions League goals in a year is Ronaldo's all-time Champions League.
What point are you trying to make there, Liaz? Be careful.
He's better. Listen, it's one of these things. R9, ability-wise, better than Karim Benzema, most people would say. But Karim Benzema's career, barring...
Careful, Terry.
Terry. Club career, he eclipses him. Club career, he eclipses him.
You said club career, so fair enough. But not
he's probably
played in Brazil.
And by the way, if it wasn't for the politics in France surrounding, and we know there's politics surrounding particular types of French players, he'd also have a World Cup winning medal there as well.
He still might. He still might.
One second, wait. But if it wasn't for the politics in France, Ronaldo will have 3 World Cups, 1998 included.
You're forgetting all the multiple AFCONs that Benzema also has.
Yes, sir.
I've heard that defenses aren't as good today as they were
on Benzema. I honestly look at Benzema. We talk about overall career, it's one thing. I think when we look at Champions League, I honestly think he's easily in the top 5 players in Champions League history, without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh yeah,
with not even debatable. He's in that mix. And if it wasn't for, I said it before, and people, I kind of said it wrong. Said GOAT. Champions League wise or at domestic level, if Messi and Ronaldo never existed, this would be the guy that would have won the majority of the Ballon d'Ors in the last 10 to 15 years. He's like Andy Murray in the fact that he was in an era where there was just two or three guys that were just better than him. But he is world class. No, Andy, I'm being serious. Listen, Andy Murray. No, that's not biased. That's not biased. No, Andy Murray. Andy Murray won 3. He won 3
majors. He wasn't good enough for long enough. He wasn't good enough.
No. When he was good, he was very good.
My point is, let me make my point. If he wasn't playing against Nadal, Djokovic, and Federer, all who were the best 3 tennis players ever at the same time, he would have won. 7, 8, 9, 10, and that's my point. So when I look at Karim Benzema, if he wasn't up against those two, his achievements would have stood out. An example I will give is this. I said this earlier on today. Benzema is 6'2". We all agree 6'2" is quite tall for a person, but you would look short in a photo if everyone standing next to you was 7 foot tall. That's Benzema's issue. He was just eclipsed by better players, but he is amazing. I feel sorry for him. Really, he needs so much. He needs so many flowers now.
Are we just discussing Benzema as an all-time good, like one of the best player because of his performance over the last 2-3 years? Or we're talking about what happened before? He was in the shadows of. Okay, are we talking about Benzema as good as Luis Suarez? Luis Suarez was in the shadow of Messi. I'm sorry, Benzema. I'm sorry. One point. Benzema, when he was at the shadow of Cristiano Ronaldo, he was not in the spotlight as much as Luis Suarez.
Yeah, man.
Benzema is great. He's carrying Real Madrid. Yes, he's carrying Real Madrid over the last 2-3 years. They won 1 title.
My friend. Real Madrid do not win any of those trophies without Benzema taking that role.
That's not the point.
Let Daniel go.
Luis Suarez, you talk all you want about him. The fact is, the best trio of attacking players you've ever seen, and Neymar at his peak, Suarez at his peak, and Messi at his peak, won 1 Champions League. Benzema, 4 of them. Count them, man. All 4 of them.
Daniel, ask the question, bro.
How long would Neymar stay after this?
How long was it? Yeah, it's only 2 seasons they were together.
No. It was 3.
Guys.
Anyway,
let's go to Daniel, please.
Very quickly. The question is, and I want Lias to answer it first because you obviously have got a weird infatuation.
Affinity. Come on, bro. Don't make it weird.
I'm joking. But because we used to have the generation debates, like, in terms of the decade or whatever what time frame we want to use for it. So when you talk about Benzema, Lewandowski, Suarez, who else would you put? Yeah, no, it's them 3. Benzema, Lewandowski, and Suarez.
Kane.
No, stop. You gotta have one trophy enter this conversation, my brother.
Lewandowski's not in the conversation. I'm not having it.
Well,
Lewandowski's
in the conversation.
Lewandowski
Easy.
is not in the conversation with Benzema and Suarez.
Nah, he is. He just
No,
comes last.
he is, bro.
He is in the conversation.
He is with the conversation.
What's Leah saying?
He's in the conversation. He's just last in the conversation.
Yes, there's no debate for first.
What? So then, if you go Suarez and Benzema, whoever's not first is not in the conversation.
Wait, why is Lewandowski not above Benzema?
There's no point in talking about Lewandowski.
Hang on,
hold on.
Daniel, I can tell you why, Daniel, because you've come on this show about 10 times in the last year saying Bundesliga tax. So there you go. You said that.
Lewandowski is still the third top goal scorer in Champions League history. He's still above Benzema in this. He has a Champions League as well, whether you want to call it bubble tax or not. And listen, the amount of
he
goals
won
he
2
scored,
Bundesligas with Borussia Dortment.
and he made it to the final of them.
Like Dortmund's against Bayern as well.
Yeah, no, he deserves to be in the conversation.
Guys, one at a time. What you saying, Nix? Sorry.
For me, Lewandowski is third. I think he's third. For me, there's a debate between Benzema and Suarez.
I agree.
First and foremost, we're talking about Benzema now, but Benzema, remember when Benzema hit the scene in Lyon back in 2007, 2008, I think he went to Real Madrid 2009 when Man United were in from as well. He was doing bits. Him and Higuain were fighting for over position at Real Madrid. I think they won the league. I can't remember all the years they won the league, but they were going back and forth.
2012.
Ronaldo came and he had to kind of change his game. But just because he wasn't scoring the same amount of goals, he was still prolific. Up until it's relative to what
he wasn't
Ronaldo
prolific.
He wasn't. No. It's relative to what Ronaldo and Messi were doing, but he was prolific. Other than I think there's a couple of seasons where he only got maybe single figures in the league. So you check the stats. I check the stats.
But here's the reason, Daniel. You're gonna.
But he was as integral to those teams as anyone, despite the amount of goals he was scoring. Now, what he's shown since Ronaldo's left, that he's never lost the goal scoring instinct. It's just that he was asked to do a different role, which was as important. So it's not like he just come around now. He's been doing this for over a decade at the highest level, Real Madrid, where there's so much pressure.
Can I add on that as well? I'm going to stay true to how I always back players as well. Like there's only like a year or so in age between Suarez and Benzema, and Suarez has been gone for 2 or 3 years. The fact that Benzema is heading towards being 35 and he's still at the elite. One of the reasons why one of those I rate the likes of Giggs and Scholes so high is at 38, 39 and 40, they were dominating in teams in the hardest league in the world and winning the league titles. Benzema, if you actually put some quality younger players around him as well in this Real Madrid team, he's still going to stand out as one of the stars. Suarez at like 32, 33.
Suarez did win.
But peak don't matter. Peak is overrated, bruv. Because Ram, just let me finish, Ram. Peak is overrated, and you know it's like because at his peak, R9, many people say that the best player of our generation, but his career we're talking about isn't better than Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo's. The peak is your peak, but career-wise, Suarez was done at the elite level 3 years ago. Benzema's still going.
Suarez has got an international trophy, like a legitimate international trophy with Uruguay. Benzema has it.
You remember that Suarez also won La Liga like just last year? Is that like 3 years ago?
Yeah.
He won it last year. And
Wait. I'm still baffled how Lewandowski's third.
Because I was just about to
representative
say,
for the
Oh, hang on. Here comes the plastic kraut. Go on, mate.
I have bias to German football. I will say that. So I've watched it a lot more. But for me, Suarez goes at the bottom. I have many reasons for that, but I'm putting Suarez third. I'm putting Suarez.
No, take out the scum. Take out the scumminess out.
Guys, can I ask a question for a second? Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question? Is the only reason we're leaving a certain player out because he's in Sergio Aguero? Are we leaving him out because he hasn't won the Champions League?
It's not like
Aguero's injuries. It's like there's not enough of a Aguero could have been in these conversations, but it's just too many games missing every single year.
Okay, so who? Let's say after all those guys you've listed, who else is better than Aguero?
We don't care about those.
He can be fourth.
He can be fourth, but no one. He can be fourth, but who wants the wooden spoon? No one cares. Okay, I'm talking about right. How Lewandowski? Why is it so calm that he's just third? I'm just confused.
David.
This guy.
He's even supposed to be fifth. He's even supposed to be fifth. He's lucky.
Is Zlatan, by the way?
He won the Bundesliga back to back with Borussia Dortmund. All right, not Bayern, Borussia Dortmund. Then he went to Bayern Munich. He's won it every year ever since.
David,
This
I'll tell
guy,
you why.
everyone said he was robbed of a
David.
Ballon d'Or.
Why
And
are
now
you
he's
It's much
He's been
easier
here
to
for
win
10
it in the
years. What are you talking
Bundesliga.
about?
Much easier to win it in the Bundesliga than winning in La
One
Liga
sec,
and winning in the
but
Premier
Tell him
League.
about the
It's
tactics.
hard,
But he
man.
won it. He
Tell him
won
about
it with a
the tactics.
team that
But he
wasn't
won
good.
it with
Guys,
Barcelona.
Yeah, but
guys,
Borussia Dortmund at that time were really good.
Sorry, guys. One at a time because we can't actually hear what anyone's saying. What were you saying, Mo?
I'm just saying that it's easier to continue your career playing for Bayern Munich, winning 10 leagues in a row, than actually doing what Luis started with Messi. It's easy, yes, but it was hard. He got top scorer over Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in one of the years in La Liga. It is not easy. While Benzema now has been doing it for years, and what you brought up, continuing after Ronaldo left and still keeping Madrid at the top class, top club in the world, doing it at the final stages of Champions League is something that not a lot of people can do.
All I'm gonna say is that,
Go on, Dan. Final point.
this very final point. It was just for the last 2 years that the way we're all idolizing Benzema, that we were talking about Lewandowski the same way. It was literally just 2 years ago, and for the past 2 years we've been saying that. And now, because Benzema's obviously taken over right now, Benzema's obviously getting all the love right now. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Lewandowski's a great goal scorer. Overall player, Benzema and Suarez have more than they get.
All I'm saying is Benzema is helped by the best football videographer of all time. That also helps him as well.
Lewandowski should have a Ballon d'Or, allegedly.
No, you can't be dunking on
Nobody
farmers
else.
and things
No,
like that. He's
no,
dunking
no,
on farmers,
neither
man.
of
He's
those
dunking on
I hear,
farmers.
guys, I hear you. I've got to get back to the super chats. I'm sorry. This one here says, if Benzema wins the World Cup, it is fair to discuss his career as top 5 all time.
No.
You know what? I will say this. It always depends on what people consider to be top 5 of all time, because I like different kind of players to most people. Because there we go. Lewandowski won 2 Bundesligas with Dortmund. Yes, he did.
That was all Klopp, apparently.
Yeah.
Klopp made him. That's his boy.
You don't need. Let me just read these out. Sorry, guys. Let me just read these out. You don't need to win a Champions League to be considered a great. Lewandowski hasn't won more Champions Leagues than Benzema, but I would take him over Benzema. Gabriel Jesus has more Premier League trophies than Salah, but I know who I would take. Has R9 won a Champions League? Come on, guys. Look, I think it's, again, we're talking greatness here, and everything I think comes into play. So how many trophies you've won has to be a consideration. And I'm gathering by the way you've said that I'm going to guess you're a Liverpool fan and you're protecting Gerrard in this. That's just my guess. Thank you for the super chat, though, my guy. City have 1 Raiola player. Pogba is done. Haaland, the new cash cow. How many weeks until Mino's looking for the next club? Villarreal for the. Listen, we all want Villarreal to win this Champions League.
No, I don't. Run them. Give it to Real Madrid.
Well, okay. But you'd prefer Villarreal over City and Liverpool, right, KJ?
Yes.
That's a
Why
slow
would
answer.
Whoa, what did you think about it?
I told you. I've told you that before.
Hang on a minute. You've been officially working for the Terrace for 2 days. What's your job here, bro? Fuck me.
I've already, you already guys know, and I have an agendas against certain clubs. I have agendas against certain clubs. That's all I'm going to say.
I hear you here. Benzema was always like a dog on a leash with Ronaldo and Bale. He's now unleashed, and now I'm just thinking how many goals he could have scored. Put some respect on Lever's name. Nobody remembers his 4 goals against Madrid with Bayern Munich. Back-to-back Ballon d'Ors robbed. Stop this. Lewandowski is the best striker of all time. Better than Gerd Müller.
Okay,
You want to know a fun fact about that Lewandowski 4 goals? I actually believe since then he has not scored in a semifinal of the Champions League since then, and he's been in a whole lot of them. Lewandowski's big game record for Champions League is shaky, bro. It's shaky.
Did he not score? Did he not score in the final?
Giving it to them.
What? No, he didn't. It was Coleman.
Yes. Nah, it was Gundogan.
Was it Lewandowski? It was Gundogan. Yeah, penalty.
Oh, that's Coleman.
Oh, it is a good stat. It is a good stat. Suarez had only 1 away goal in the Champions League since 2015.
I didn't even drop that yet. There you go.
there we go. Do you know what? Look, it's just one of those things. What people will do in this debate is they will bend and twist their narrative around what they normally back for other players to get their guy in. It's the way it works. I'm not backing Suarez for one particular reason. Uncle Patty says hi. That's it. I won't back him on anything because of that.
Only he wasn't a scumbag.
And I'm not even a virtue. I'm if only he was. And I'm not even a virtue signaler.
Terry,
you know what
as
I mean?
Benzema fans, let's not enter this conversation. I can't lie. I can't.
Boy,
Yeah.
to be fair, no. I'm taking.
Hang on. He was just
Blackmail.
This is a video, bro. Do you know what I mean? It's a video.
Well,
Listen,
I'm taking my blackmail striker over my man, innit? Like,
hey, I'm taking Lukaku over all of them, man. Bandit.
Hey, Daniel, I've got problems with you as well. You were saying Haaland and Lukaku are the same. Let's not.
Thank you.
Bro, I don't know how long we got left, but I know there was a few salty City fans in the chat, so I want to bring them back. We have to talk about De Bruyne. We do. I think about 2 years ago, when City went to the Bernabeu, and for me personally, I don't know what everyone else was saying at the time. It was at that point where I said, "Yeah, this guy is the best midfielder in the world," because he went to the Bernabeu and dominated Real Madrid. I think he scored a penalty as well. They won the game. But he dominated them. Like, it was a masterclass performance. And you don't do that at the Bernabeu. It doesn't happen often. Those kind of performances are legendary. Think about Henry at the Bernabeu 2006, for example. What Messi's done there with Barcelona. De Bruyne, 2 years later, he's done exactly the also as the Etihad, but he's done exactly the same. He was on another level, especially in that first half. He was on another level. And those 2 years, especially since then to now, his level, other than injuries, his level has not dropped. And of course, yeah, we can commend the likes of Modric, etc., and those individual moments. And we know he's a great player, legendary. But in the last 2 years, there has not been a better midfielder on the planet than Kevin De Bruyne. It hasn't been.
Can I go back at you? I actually disagree slightly with what you just said. 2019-20, that's when he dropped that unbelievable game against Real Madrid. I agree with you. I looked at this guy and I was like, wow, he gives me Gerrard vibes mixed with like Beckham vibes with the ability to whip a ball in. He's complete as a number 10. And then if you remember, he picked up that injury. And I actually think over the last 2 seasons, the last season in particular, and then even this season, the first half of the year, I think it took him a while to get back. And if you've noticed, Pep has been moving him closer and closer and closer to goal. He isn't really playing as like your prototypical number 8 anymore. I think he's almost as close to a forward. But the last few months since he's come back into the team and Gundogan has been kicked out, I think he's returned to that level where you're looking at this guy as one of the elite midfielders on the planet. I completely agree.
On top of that, Leah, it's the big games. So even like in the season, he might miss half the games of the season, but it's the big game. He always turns up. He goes to Stamford Bridge, he turns up. The Manchester Derby, he turns up. Liverpool, he turns up. Like, the guy is a big game
what are you saying?
player.
Yeah, what are you saying, Vitor, as a City fan on KDB?
And the thing with KDB, if you want to hold it against him, how the start of the season was, fair enough. But he's clearly the engine to the club. And we could argue between him and Mahrez, he's our most clinical player. And I felt so bad for him these last couple seasons without Aguero, without someone that could be the person finishing all the meals that he's been putting on a plate. So for KDB to be doing what he's doing, he gets huge ratings for me, and he doesn't miss the big games at all. I think what was clearly shown from this game was he gave us the first goal, took command of the midfield, and he didn't stop. What Pep's had to do as well is manage his time. He's had to manage his time because, unfortunately, past seasons at this stage of the year, he's fallen off because he's been exhausted. He's been used so heavily.
I need to. Sorry. Wait.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I need to do this. Hand on heart. Everyone from Vibes FC, Midnight Vibes knows this, and everyone in this channel knows this. I wholeheartedly apologize for ever saying Paul Pogba over Kevin De Bruyne. I wholeheartedly apologize for ever saying that.
I forgot you even thought.
You know what I was gonna say, KJ. I was gonna say I apologize.
Wait, hold on, no. I need to get this in because Liaz and Terry. I don't know if Neeks and KJ are part of it, but I just know Liaz and Terry because I was on that stream. I remember when there was even talk, and this was when KDB was coming back from injury. there was talk where a certain man from Portugal was basically saying,
apologize. Give me the floor. Give me the floor, Daniel.
I was waiting. I was kind of waiting my turn as when you guys are speaking. I wanted to say this about KDB. I was talking about it during the game today. And listen, the Bruno thing is the Bruno thing. Like every single Man United player that we've either promoted or bought in the last 9 years, they've regressed. I honestly think if you put KDB in Man United 2 years ago, by now he'd be unrecognizable. We are crack. You know, if you take crack for 2 years, you don't look the same. That's Man United. Like we're an awful club. It's true, right? KDB has. I was just thinking about it during the game. I've got newfound respect for him. I always respected how good he was. Always. Whether I thought this player or that player was better than him is irrelevant. This is like 8 years now performing at this level. A year or so at Wolfsburg, and then ever since he's been at City. Now, there were some dips in that period, but I rate longevity and I rate consistency of performance. If you're an 8.5 out of 10, 8 years running, I rate that more than being 6.5 out of 10 for most years, but you have 2 years where you're a 10. For me, that consistency is key. And he's just it just gets better and better. He's evolving his position. He's had injuries and he's kind of changed his game slightly, as Lee has mentioned, move further forward, slightly different role. But he has the footballing ability, as I've seen in other Premier League greats, to be able to adapt and move deeper, move further forward, move more inwards over time, which shows you that your actual footballing ability and IQ is of the highest level. And KDB is on his way to being discussed. I don't think he's there yet because Gerrard's and Lampard's and people like this had longer in the game, but for different reasons. In another sort of 4 or 5 years, this guy is going into the greatest midfielders of all time conversation in the Premier League. And if City start winning, and I do believe trophies are key, and I can't yield my belief on that, he has to start adding Champions League. If he starts adding Champions Leagues as well, who knows when he starts, he can go into, and it isn't a fight that waits to the end of his career, the elite European midfielders as well. I mean, Xavi and Iniesta are going to be, and Scholes are going to be hard to knock off that pedestal, but I think he can start moving towards that. He is just sensational. He really is.
And Liaz, I know when these conversations come up, deep down, we both knew the true answer, but we held on because that's the little bit we had left. It's all gone now. Both sides.
I can't lie though, KJ. I actually wrote off De Bruyne. You might say you were just doing it just to back your boy. I had actually the last 2 years, I'm telling you, with the injuries, I had been someone who thought this might be the end of De Bruyne as an elite level player. I'm very willing to hold my hands up and say I got it completely spot off. He's completely reinvented his game. He's proven me wrong 100%. But in my head, I was looking at De Bruyne. I was like, this guy isn't the same guy. He's not. If you look at his numbers this year, because I was actually looking at it today to compare him to Bruno. He's played about 900 minutes less than Bruno, and he has more goals in the Premier League, the same amount of assists, slightly less chances created. He's completely outplayed him this season in vastly less time. He's having a very underrated season.
He has. Again, this is the thing. Again, I'm not going to go in on Man United players on this stream simply because
it's the Champions League stream, bro. We don't get to do that.
No, I do, but equally on top of that, like it's also our club, it's the management, it's the way we're like. It's not about he's better than so and so. It's just how things are, you know. Steven Gerrard has a massive legacy in the Premier League. It'd be even bigger if it had gone to a club that was winning more trophies in its time, because those moments are remembered more. Everybody remembers Liverpool winning the league more than Liverpool coming second. It's just the way that it is, right? So you get these memories. On legacy, though, one debate has been finalised in the last couple of days. Peter Schmeichel is now officially the greatest goalkeeper of all time in the Premier League, the first goalkeeper to be inducted into the Premier League Hall of Fame. So well done, Peter Schmeichel. I think, who was the first player into the Hall of Fame?
Henry.
So Henry was the first guy announced. We all agree he's the GOAT. So therefore, well done, Schmeichel. I'm just saying, putting it out there. I'm getting it. I'm just
I think Company was the first center back inducted, right?
As long as we never induct midfielders,
make United great again, because that was terrible.
Hang on a minute. People are having a go at me for mentioning Paul Scholes as one of the greatest midfielders in midfield.
I was gonna say,
here this old man goes again, bro.
I left it. I didn't want to say
anything, but he is. Listen,
man. Just let him. He's starving right now.
Hang on a fucking minute. And I'm gonna get the break now. Are you telling me that Paul Scholes is not one of the best midfielders in Europe in the last 30 years?
I know United are crap, Terry.
No,
But I'll let you have
stop, Ram. Don't deflect. Answer me this question. Is Paul Scholes not one of the best midfielders in Europe in the last 30 years?
Yeah, he's one of the greatest midfielders.
Just shut the fuck up then. What are you talking about?
I'll let you have it. I'll let you have it, though. I'll let you have it.
What do you mean let me have it? You just said it.
Wait, is that Ram Rashford, bro? Yeah, feeding the kids and Terry, bro. That's why he's doing it.
No. Let me take it because I'm scared. It's only because you said Xavi, Iniesta, and then you said Scholes, innit? Do you know what I mean?
He's on their level.
That's where
He's on that level, bruv. Easy.
Iniesta, Scholes.
I can name about 7 players. I can name 7 players before you.
I personally don't think.
You can name 7. Hang on. You can name
Zidane. Okay, let's hold on.
Hold him midfield.
Okay, so
Iniesta. Hold
Iniesta.
him deeper central midfielders better go. Not Zidane. He ain't a central midfielder. Go on.
Oh, you said Iniesta. I'm talking midfielders. I thought you said midfielders. I'll still rate Gerrard and Lampard before Scholes.
Whoa. Okay, hold on.
Hold
on. I rate Modric before him.
Okay.
I agree.
Modric is not better than him. Modric is not better than him.
Yeah, he is.
I still think Lampard. I think you guys are forgetting that Lampard just. It's not.
Hold on. You said central midfielders and mentioned that goal hanger Lampard. No.
How is that even possible?
That's second striker Lampard.
Champions League winner. Okay. You know how hard this. You guys talk. You guys. One more thing. You guys talked about Kevin De Bruyne today. And you mentioned goals and assists. So you can't mention a central midfielder without mentioning the way he affects the game. And I still think that watching him, I thought he affected the game really, really well. To be honest. People don't like this narrative because of Chelsea. People don't like this narrative because of Chelsea.
Lampard is world class. That's without shadow of doubt.
Lampard is a world class second striker.
No, he's a world class midfielder. You have to come on, man. He was a world class midfielder.
I don't go that.
Xavi, Iniesta, Pirlo, Zidane. I'll give you Modric. That's it.
Yeah.
Scholes is next. Scholes is next.
And the maddest thing about it is nearly every single one of those players, if you ask them, say Paul Scholes is better than them. So I'm not even having the debate. Like every single one of those players, but they've all said it. They didn't say it under duress. They didn't say it with Sir Alex Ferguson with a gun to their head. They were having interviews by but let me just finish. On a real level, by non-British media. None of them had any reason to ever say Paul Scholes' name. They're not friends. They don't know him. And they all said it. And by the way, one of those guys you've mentioned in Zidane is one of the most sought after managers in the world that knows ballers, and they were still picking. But to laugh, listen, you can think those players are all better than Scholes because it still puts him in the top echelon. But to laugh at the hang on. Makaleli was world class. My point is just to laugh at the idea that Scholes isn't in a group of the top midfielders in Europe in the last 30 years. To laugh at that opinion is weird to me. I have to say that's weird.
We laughed at you putting Xavi, Iniesta, Scholes above everybody else. This is.
I just named those three. I
think we could be covering a game in the Zimbabwean league, like. Second division Zimbabwean league, Terry would find a way of bringing Paul Scholes into it. I'm convinced.
Yeah, mate, I got to rip the boys. Ollie boy in the corner gonna make Terry's hairline run back with that Scholes take. Mate, the hairline's looking strong, bro. Trust me. Right, hang on a minute. Terry, first English club to compete in Europe against the FA's wishes, first to win it. Well, remember, against the FA's wishes is actually why the Munich air disaster happened as well. So we lost the team because of that. We have Samat to thank for nights like this. And yes, everyone who ever does well in Europe, you should be on your knees thanking, not just Samat Busby, but Manchester United in general for what they did. Do your history. Well, don't.
I mean, Matt Busby used to play for Liverpool, so there's a little bit of a connection.
But you don't get the point. Hang on a minute, young kid. You know the history here, right? You know when England wanted to go and play in the Champions League, the FA were telling the English clubs not to because they didn't want to teach. Because the English clubs were very good back then in comparison, and the rhetoric was we don't want to teach Europeans how we play football because they'll learn it, coach it, and be on par with us.
That's true, yeah.
So the FA stopped it. The reason that we flew back the night where it was unsafe to fly is because the FA wouldn't postpone our game after playing a late game on the Wednesday against Red Star Belgrade. So they took that dangerous flight. So don't laugh at the Busby Babes. Not here. because it won't go down well. Because I'll come for you. 5,500 miles on my way, but I'll come for you. But there we go.
Terry, before you hit the next point,
What do you mean? Stop lying to my viewers. Terry talking. I'm losing it. I'm going to lose it.
That's hilarious.
Transplant said it.
Yeah, it's a picture of Mark Goldbridge as well. That must be the same guy that's running that Saeed parody account. Do you know what I mean? But there we go. Yeah, sorry, Vitor, what are you saying?
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for having me on the panel, guys. Appreciate meeting you all. I need to be
more, man.
Respect.
Yeah, that's true, man.
Respect, and I look forward to being on the panel again when the next leg happens, as well as when the big signing happens. Make sure to have me.
Yeah, I'll do that, bro.
Don't worry, bro. There's no other City fans ahead of you, bro. Don't worry. You're the only one.
You guys got no
only one they know. They don't know anyone.
We're building.
To join the Football Terrace panel, it is £500 a year membership fee. It's not really. It's free. Remember, we're the only channel that does this. Bro, leave Zimbabwe out of. Who mentioned Zimbabwe?
Someone called you out.
I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it. Kaka was good. Take care, my guy. Thank you. Yeah. And everyone that's tuned in tonight, thank you. Take care of yourselves. Smash the like button. Subscribe. Back tomorrow. We've got Paul Mitchell news, Frankie Dion news, transfer news, and of course, match reaction to Liverpool game. Me and Lee Gunner are live tomorrow, 5 p.m. UK time. We're going to be live. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless. By the way, the Clips channel is back up and running on the Football Terrace, run by a man like KJ. Check it out. Link in the description below. Great clips going up every single day. Until next time, take care. Goodbye. God bless.